Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's Q&A session with me and the lovely Mr. Chris Palmer, SEO.com. Also, just a quick suggestion that ODYS have $400 bonus for the next 2 weeks. So if you want to get $400, the link is below if you want an age domain name. So check that out, guys, as well, if you are in the market for something like that. But we have someone, I just need to check the time, someone who has beat Fred Hutterson today. Richard Jones is today's winner by a minute. So, Richard, you beat Fred, but Fred is also talking about a great show today with Chris and Matt Diggity. Other guys are saying they haven't watched it, but Fred is saying there were some great questions from Matt. So do check out Chris's interview with Mr. Matt Diggity. Always a good, knowledgeable guy in the industry and someone worth listening to. He doesn't come out much though. But I'm also hearing feedback, Chris. I don't know if that's coming from you or me, but I'm hearing
Let me see if I can turn this down. I don't. It might be. I heard a little tweaking, like ding, ding, ding. Right? Is that what you're hearing? Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be. Let me. I moved. Is that a little bit better? Maybe.
Whoa. No, I can still hear that a bit.
It's not on my. It's not on me. I moved the. I moved the speaker. I moved the mic. I turned down everything.
Still there. Fuck it. Hello from SoCal, Southern California. Marco, good to see you. More people talking about the Diggity show. And Miss Holly Starks is here as well. Good to see you, Holly. But today we are here to answer your questions. Put your questions in the chat. Do give the video a little like or dislike if you dislike any of us or anyone in the chat, whatever. Feel free to just engage, full stop. Richard Sachs is here from Florida. Good to see you, Richard. But before we go on to any questions from the people there, how was the Diggity show? How long, tell us a bit about it, just for people there who obviously want to go and listen to it. What, was there great knowledge bombs in there? What were you talking about? Like, what was the...
He was very knowledgeable. I was more interested at, I was asking him SEO questions, but I was more like, I was looking for lessons along the way. So I think he was good. I gave him a hard time in the beginning because I was using a new app. So it was giving him a hard time. So he wasn't, when I first got with him, he wasn't too pleased, but then it went on pretty good. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, there was, I don't want to give it away, obviously. I want it took me a while to be able to speak to Matt Diggity. So go watch it.
Beg him to get on. Matt Diggity doesn't put his head out too much on other channels, so he's it's always worth listening to.
Took me a year to get him. Yeah.
So yeah, go and watch that, guys, on Chris's channel if you're interested in hearing from Matt Diggity and what Chris was able to squeeze out of him. Were you able to squeeze out some knowledge though? Is there something there?
There's something there, yeah.
That's what we always want. Just something, man. Doesn't even matter if it's a small thing. But yeah, check it out, guys. Don't want to watch it and then there's nothing. You're just like, fuck. I hate watching those webinars where you're super excited for them and not a thing. The level of questions were.
I will give you this. I wrote out a lot of what the talk is just below the video. So if you're do a quick scannerooski there, I wrote it out in the show notes there in the scheme of the video.
Yeah,
it's pretty much there. I stuffed it with keywords, but it's pretty much the questions there. Yeah.
Interesting. But guys, talking about questions, we need your questions to start today off. So please do put them in the live chat. Anything you've got to ask it now. And we will work through as many questions as we possibly can throughout the show. But again, still, it's always a slow start on these shows now. But while we're waiting, some questions coming in, Chris, was there anything that you had written down for Diggity that you didn't get time to ask?
I mean, so like a lot of the littler SEO stuff, which it just seemed like which I saved towards the end. You know, like what was the percentage of SEO do you think's links? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, like overall word count of domains, which ones, like if you've seen a vast selection of domains, do you think overall word count is a counting factor, right? Mm-hmm. You know, overly stuffed anchor texts, do you utilize that? How much stuff do you think is actually links compared to a happy melody? Stuff like that was kind of the stuff I say for the end that kind of glazed over.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was more concerned with stuff like, you know, like what were the lessons? What were the mistakes as you were going? You know, like if you were to start over, like what would you have done different? Stuff like that. I was looking at, like, what kind of sleep are you getting? Right? Like, how do you hire? How do you fire? You know, which key elements in your business, like what people should I get in position? What's better, links or flipping sites? Like I was interested in that kind of stuff. Like, how do you make bread and how do you stay healthy? That's what I was curious of. Right.
Yeah. Oh, you've always got to go in, try and get the mistakes and stuff out the way and see what happens. And it is a quiet day today, Holly. Don't know why you're all sitting, not asking questions, but enough about Diggity. You need to go and watch this show for that. But Holly, I haven't even noticed my videos popping in #1 in Google now. I will have to check that out. So yeah, I will check the analytics and stuff as well, because I'm trying to, you know, answer, because a few people have said to me, what difference does it make having your YouTube channel Google News approved? Does it make a difference and stuff? So I need to kind of see what the difference is. But if they're popping in to position 1 on Google, then surely I would get more traffic from that. But yeah, I need to check that shit out, man, and see what's happening.
Just real quick. So that was a question that we talked about on Thursday. And that was the first thing that I noticed, was every single keyword that I saw in your videos. If there's a video carousel or a video result or a featured video on that keyword, your video was there. That's the difference. Yeah. So I don't know what the traffic value is there, but when I look at my external traffic coming in for personally, like there's Facebook and there's all the other crap, but Google's at the top. So if you're getting more positions over time, I'm assuming it's going to be highly beneficial. I would venture to guess. Yeah.
Because I was asked the question yesterday and I couldn't answer it because it had only been Google News approved for a week. But last week I posted 2 more videos than normal. So I couldn't really gauge whether it was those videos that got the extra traffic or whether it was the news approved. So I just need a little bit more. But as I say, I'm sure it's going to be massively beneficial. So happy days. Also, just a wee shout out to my man, Mr. Chase Rayner, in there with his cat and his dodgy shirt on. Chase, great to see you, mate, again. And thank you for the donation. If you guys are looking for information, do check out Mr. Chase Rayner as well. Not just SEO information, he's got automation, he's got all sorts of stuff. So check out Chase. And also, Cortez, a law firm. Thank you very much. And hello from Oklahoma. Cortez Law Firm says as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Sujit is here. But Holly's saying Chris and Matt's was in position 8. But I think it's in page 2 now. So Chris, yours will be doing that too. Yours is approved now. So check that out. Mr. Palmer's on the road to Google News approved stardom, if that's a thing. But listen, I love all this stuff, and Holly's teaching that stuff in our mastermind and stuff like that. So, guys, if you are wondering what we're talking about, getting your YouTube channel Google News approved can only be a benefit, I think. But we have to wait and see how much of a benefit that's going to be. So we will give you feedback on that in due course, but I think it's just too early to say just now. And certainly for Chris, if yours is just approved, you can't tell us nothing on that. So just yet. So be interested to see the.
I mean, but even if it does nothing, how cool is that though?
Oh, right? Exactly.
So yeah, that's just cool. Yeah.
Listen, see, as long as I can say to my SEO mates, I've got this and they've not.
Yeah, like, check this out.
Yeah, fuck it.
That's priceless, man. You're like, you don't have this.
Yeah, bragging rights for a week until someone else gets it, and then someone else gets it, and before we know it, we've all fucking got it, and we're on to something new. But hello, Maeve. Good to see you. Guys, you're really slow with questions this week. Ask. Let us know you're there. Any questions, no such thing as a stupid question, basic or not, feel free to ask. Hello from India. Good to see you, Ganesh. And Holly is saying, I think testing for a good month, you will see it more. I think that's what it's all about, Holly, right? And you know, hopefully we can all share, you know, our insights and all that with each other. And as I say, work on.
I'm gonna track. I'm gonna watch it.
But Chris Tubbs, first question, he's struggling with keyword research. When I'm looking to try keywords in a cluster, how do you know if it should become a primary? You want to answer that one first, Chris?
How do I know if it's going to be a primary? So you know the primary, you know what your primary keywords are, right? The primary is the highest cost per click and volume. There's the primary. And then if it's a variation or there's a stop word like SEO in Oklahoma, right? So that's probably going to be a secondary phrase. I would venture to guess, opposed to Oklahoma SEO, right? Or vice versa, SEO Oklahoma. So how do I know? It's going to be generally determined by volume and cost per click is usually how I'm going to determine that. And then if it's variations or if they're stop words in there, I'll make that either heading tags or put it into the article. And if it's a completely new idea, then it's a new page or a supporting piece of content. So that's generally how I'm going to determine though, based on volume, cost per click.
I think volume is the common one you've got to look at. Do you know what I mean? It's quite easy to distinguish, like used cars, for example, is the primary, and then it could be used Audi cars, used BMW cars, all of that kind of stuff would all be seen as secondary words. So, yeah, 100% what Chris says.
And then sometimes, and I'm sure you see this too, Craig, you know, you might put a page up, you're targeting a primary keyword, a big volume word or a high cost per click word. Then the page just takes off for some weird term that says, oh, there's nothing here. Well, then you go back in and retune. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'll switch this
always got to retune.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But retuning is the vital thing. Chris Turbs, PS, how do you donate? I have no idea. How do you donate, Chris?
So inside your comment section, like when it's streaming, if you just there's a button down the bottom. There's like a smile. Like if you look at the bottom of the comments, there's like a smiley face. There's like a buck symbol there or USD symbol. Like I think is that called a USD symbol? You know, like a money sign. Yeah. So it's just like a little money sign there. And you just click on that, and you could either give Craig or me, Craig preferably. You could give him like a sticker, like a moving thing. It's all different ways. Yeah, or donate some questions. Yeah, that would be good too.
Donate some questions. Always good. But Fred Hutterson, can you explain more about the Google News site? what did you do to apply? I am going to sit in the fence on this one because I don't want to give. I don't know what one. I know how to apply, but I'm not sure if people are selling courses on it or what the deal is. You know, a lot of this stuff is coming from Holly's mastermind, so you would need to check that out. As I say, it's especially where YouTube getting into the Google News approved thing. It wasn't me personally who done it for my channel, so it's I don't want to give anyone's secrets away, but if you Google how to get Google News approved, there is a process for getting your website Google News approved, but there are funky little tricks in getting other things Google News approved, and I don't want to say too much. You need to check out. Holly, do you share that shit in your mastermind? I don't want to mislead anyone either. I'm not sure if that's something you're sharing, offering as a service, or what's the deal, Holly, with that? I'm just scared what to say. I don't want to say, go to Holly's mastermind and someone comes back saying, fucking, she's not telling you how to do it, though. So what is the deal? I don't know if anyone's telling how to do it. But yeah, we'll find out from Holly in a moment. Holly did ask a question, though, Chris. Do you have GSA footprints for sale for scrape box scraping?
No, not for sale. That's a good idea. Just a list right now. Just stuff that I've like auto approve lists is what I'm aiming for. I didn't even think about the footprint. Most people I found, like, they don't want to have to do the work. They'd rather just get the list and fire it up, and is what I found. But that's a good idea. But no, I don't. I have them. But not for sale, I guess. Yeah.
And just to confirm, Holly Starks shares how to get your website approved, not YouTube approved. So just I don't want to be misleading anyone down the garden path. So no one's telling how you can get your your YouTube approved. People are still playing around with that and testing and all that stuff. So see what happens in the future, but certainly you can get your website approved, and Holly can show you that and all that good stuff. Go, Chris, you going to say something?
I'm sorry. I have a question. So on your personal website, on the Craig Campbell website, the DR70 website, that one, does that is that Google News approved?
Just today. So if you do site : and then my website and go to Google News, you will literally see every one of my articles. Well, not every single one, but the majority of my articles are now Google News on Google News. So,
so we're not sure if is that an additive? So you're not sure. You're not 100 yet.
Nah, I'm not 100%, man. I've still got a lot of digging and all that kind of stuff. I'm just fucking around just now. Believe it or not, I actually did try and get my website Google News approved last year when I think people at Holly and stuff were talking about it, or whenever it was, and I went through the whole process and I didn't tick. I put in this unknown feed into the process, and it came back and I had to do a manual review, so it didn't go through. And then I looked the other day when everyone was talking about all of this stuff, and I found out that mine wasn't, but it is now. And as I say, why not? More exposure. So got to do what we've got to do. And Chris Turbs, thank you very much, mate. Always
found the button.
Appreciated. And yeah, you found the button. So
yeah, you found
it. You can do that in future for other people and all that kind of stuff. You've learned something new, which is always important. But Christoph is asking, can we recommend a good PVA Gmail provider? And does it matter where the accounts were created and warmed up? Can I use US Gmails for the German area and change the name and all that stuff?
So providers, I mean, there's a magnitude of providers. like Accounts Market, maybe something like that. It's probably going to be tough to buy that stuff right now. As far as where they're created, it's, I mean, a lot of the times they're like family accounts, USA, India, Pakistan, these types of places. I've never saw anybody saying, hey, German or UK or anything like that. And then as far as warmed up, the chances of them being warmed up are slim to none. Even if it says 0 to 6 months or something, that's like when it was made. They've been just sitting probably. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. You could still use them. I've used ones that were from Pakistan and I'm in the US and I wouldn't have any problem. But a piece of information though, as soon as you get them, wherever you buy them from, change the code out, change the passwords out like immediately. I know it's a pain. You buy 100 and then you have to go into each one. It's a pain in the rear, but just do that because they'll just recycle them. If you don't get
Good
in there
advice.
and swap them. Yeah.
Mercedes Forbes, good to see you, mate. Good to see you. And also Sandy Rowley. Good to see you as well, Sandy. Any questions, guys? Put them in the chat. Holly's saying, can you create a footprint list for GSA? I need to do some scraping, but I don't want to analyze them.
GSA, can I add a custom list? I never tried that, but they have so many different options. They have a footprint list. It's like built into GSA, I'm assuming. With Scrapebox, you could put the custom in. I'm sure you're aware. GSA, does that allow a custom footprint? I don't think so. I think it already has the footprints built in, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It has pretty much all of
them. But I might be wrong unless they've changed it. But yeah, it didn't previously put it that way. Holly Starks' mastermind is also closed, so you can't really buy into it, people. So there you go. No luck. You can't get in that one. Awesome interview with Diggity, Chris. Someone else saying,
thank you.
Top job. I might even need to try and drag Diggity onto mine in the future. Yeah, why not? And wash hands. It's always good for the old COVID situation. And Holly's saying, yeah, but I can't pull that out to put into Scrapebox. Or she just doesn't want to. Ideally, you take your verified list and analyze it with Exrumer and then create the footprint that way. But Holly wants you to do it, Chris. She doesn't want to do it. Can you sort it out? Is this something you can help with? Or yeah, Holly's going to get you a headlock?
The lists are. I have a list. I have a list. That's easy. That's an easy thing to do. Yes, I could sort it out.
I'll leave it to you guys to sort out. Christoph, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Cameron G is asking, did you get that 30-minute interview with Neil Patel?
No, but I tried. I've been working him for a while. I've talked to pretty much every VA that he has. I've been on all the channels. I try to get in there as soon as possible on those YouTube videos. I even pinged Chase because I saw that he said that he got lucky. Messaging. So I mean, I even tried Rua. I'm like, hey, you think you could help me out here? No, sure can't. No, he's tough, man.
It's tough. So when you reach out to a guy of that stature in the industry, is he the one saying no? Do you even hear from him? Like, what's the feedback like from the VAs you're talking to? Is it like just fuck off, like leave us alone, we don't do interviews, or what?
No, they'll like a couple of them sent me to a form to fill out. A few of them said like, oh, Neil's not like doing it right now, but maybe in next month, and then I'll hit him up next month. I think it's tough, man. He's tough. He's real tough. He's the toughest so far. Yeah, but not as tough as Brian Dean. Brian Dean's the hardest because his is auto. If you try to hit any of his stuff, even if you pull it out with like Hunter and hit all the emails, it's auto. Poof. You get a message, Zendesk instant message. Hey, thanks for reaching out. But piss off.
Holly's asking, do you know his shipping address?
No.
That should be easy to find.
That should be easy to find, though. That's maybe a gift. Maybe that will get his attention, huh? Send
some
him
nice aftershave or something like that.
Yeah,
although,
I know.
You bought him some dodgy aftershave, you probably be like, fuck this dude. So it could be.
I mean, we have something in common. He was born a day before me. You know, same year, same month, same everything.
Come on, man.
He's a Taurus like me. Yeah.
He's not born in the same year though.
Oh no, not the same year. Sorry if I mentioned that. Same month though, and like a day the day before. Yeah, not the same year. You're right. Yeah, not the same year. Susan
Johnson, did you guys rank purely with GSA a few years ago?
Oh yeah, same year. Same year. Yeah, same year.
Yeah. So
sorry.
Everyone did. And I'm not going to point any fingers, but there's some people that still do it and do get reasonable results.
Well, but you're not building it. I don't want that to be out in the world though. Like you're not firing up GSA and pointing it at your pages though. If you've done some quality link building at some point in your life, all of that is where you would point it to. So you go get your, 3 million list or 5 million list or 40 million link list. You plug it in, you put in your whole backlink profile, anything that's do follow and has a decent authority score, and then you fire it up and you let it run on the VPS until it runs out. Might take you a week to run through the whole list, but once that's done, then you've accomplished your goal. And then when you check in Ahrefs, you'll go from like DR12 to, I don't know, 38, somewhere in that range probably. Yeah, it's fun.
It's a week. That's the funny part there. Let it run for about a week as if that's just an everyday occurrence, Chris.
Just let that baby run. Yeah, it doesn't shut off really. It just keeps running.
Oh man. Cameron's saying you won fair and square at Hold'em.
I won fair and square. I called my hand wrong though, so technically I lost. But hey, who's counting? Yeah. He had two
Holly's saying she sends weird gifts and creates a buzz and then drop in and say, hi, it was me. Would you just rock up at his office though? Is that the thing to do? Just fucking rock up. The chances of him being in the office are pretty slim, right?
Yeah, that's an interesting that would be kind of, I don't want to get like that would be kind of, I don't know. I don't want to get shot. Jeez, you show up. Hey, you know me. Yeah, no, I don't think I would do that. But maybe sending a gift. I could get him with that. Send him a bouquet of flowers, right? That would stand out.
I'm not sure flowers is
gardenias.
But listen, something to grab his attention, something odd. And Holly's saying she drops in his Facebook or YouTube feed, not necessarily in the office. See, this is where people can drop a little bit of information and you pick it up all the wrong way. See, so I thought you were just going to drop in his office. But don't send glitter bombs, they get pissy. You just gave me an idea that I owe someone a glitter bomb, actually, Holly. So, yeah, someone's getting a glitter bomb soon. Someone sent something to my house, and I've still not paid them back for it. I'm not going to say what it was, but they sent something that could have potentially got me into a lot of trouble. There may have been an envelope with some panties hanging out of it, and
that's classic. That's good. That's funny.
Luckily, my wife knows that
your shenanigans. Yeah.
So there was absolutely no hassle at all from her. She just laughed, but potentially that chick could go fucking crazy if you've got some crazy wife, and get me in a lot of trouble. But guys, do give us a like on the video up there, or a dislike. Please do ask your questions. I don't know why you're all so slow this week with questions. It's really bizarre, but yeah, make sure you do ask us questions, because you're only going to get the best value out of us by asking shit that we can share. Craig Mullins is there as well. Good to see you. Holly says her first year she sent like 100 Christmas presents to a ton of affiliates, and that's how I got on their shows. Yeah, I can see how that would work. Neil Patel tracks all mentions of him on the web. I'm sure he's preparing the restraining order against Chris as we speak.
Probably. And I weave his, yeah. I always weave in to the content pieces. It could be about anything, like Neil Patel versus Chris Palmer versus Neil Patel. I always do that. Yeah. It's fun.
But it works. Do it, Craig. Neil will bite, I think. To be honest, I am doing a conference with him. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it yet, but I'm speaking at a conference with him. I think it's in May, and I'm sure going to give it a bash, meet backstage, and give him some Scottish chat and see if he goes for it. He's either going to love me or he's going to hate me. So I'm going to try and make my move there. Like, I'm not speaking to his VEs and stuff. Fuck that shit. I couldn't be bothered with that. But also, like you're saying, like Brian Dean with the Zendesk. I've got Zendesk and I need to set that shit up. I just think it's a good setup to have. And I like it. It kind of keeps things bulletproof. And I think I've tried Brian Dean as well. And he basically just said, listen, dude, I'm not doing them for now. Maybe give me a shout in the future or whatever. And I'm like, fuck. But I did when I'd done this, and it's in Romania, Holly. It's called Affiliate Something Summit. Can't remember the name off the top of my head, but yeah, I actually met Brian Dean at a Same Rush event, and he replied and he remembered me. He's like, dude, we should have done it when we were at the Same Rush event. And I'm like, fuck. So rather than do that, I fucking sat and had beers and chatted absolute shit. So if you're out and about at events and stuff and you bump into someone of that caliber, pounce on them right then and there, because probably do it, but yeah.
And probably share it at the event. They'll probably share it through their feed. Yeah, that would be that's a good idea.
Rugavir is here. Good to see you, Rugavir. Long time no speak. And Frick, I can't go that far over there. It is a hell of a trek for someone like Holly to get to Romania. Rugavir saying that Neil Patel's a marketer. He's not a real SEO guy. Any thoughts on that, Chris? So obviously you want him on your show. Is it to exploit his SEO knowledge, or is it, what's your thing with Neil Patel? Do you think he's really good at SEO? Do you think he's a marketer? Everyone's got different opinions on the guy. Obviously, he's very successful, but I hear a lot of people saying steal Patel and, this and that, and, his fucking ghostwriters do this and do that. And that's something I want to touch on. You get someone to do work for you. Everyone in this industry talks about delegation and doing this and doing that. I delegated Instagram carousels out to someone, and there was a typo in one of them, and people are coming in slamming me. You're a dumb shit and all that. You can't spell. And I'm like, fuck. But I can only imagine, the minute someone like Neil Patel makes a mistake, it's highlighted. And people are saying, steal Patel and you fucking thieving bastard. And it could have been the VA or whatever. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have his hands on everything. But, so you hear a lot of, positive things, of course. He's been around a long time and very successful. But you hear a lot of that negative stuff as well. What's your thoughts on him in terms of an SEO side of things? Like, what's your thought?
Well, I mean, so if you look at the channel and then look at when he is speaking live, it's wildly different. right? Some of his talks are he obviously knows what's up. I think he's got it, but I think the marketing side is better. But I mean, if I were to get him, I'm not too curious about the SEO piece. I'm just curious. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like the SEO stuff, I already know. I'd be more curious of like other things. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to really sit and think about it. But do I think he's good at SEO? I think he can hire people that are good at SEO. So yeah, and the results obviously are clear, right? He ranks for some big stuff. And then as far as the marketing is concerned, yeah, I would think we all know his name. So the marketing side is good. And then as far as for myself, it would be to ask, I'm just curious of people, like when you get there, like, is it as good as it seems? I'm just curious. Yeah. Questions like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
But you never know your luck, Chris. Got to keep persevering. You might get lucky. But Joe's Cranes is here. We're well. Hope you're well as well, Joe. And if you've got any questions, put them in that chat. Dunkish or Drunkush is asking any tips or ideas on how to use aged government domains in India. So before we go into the Indian government domains, can you buy government domains over in the US, Chris? Is that a thing?
I never tried. I wouldn't. I don't play. I wouldn't. That doesn't cross my mind. No, I don't want to. No, I don't. I don't want people looking at me.
Not what you're admitting to. Just for educational purposes, would you try something like that just as a test?
Hell no. Not with them. Nah. No way, Jose.
Well, if you're not doing it in your own country, I'm going to make the assumption that you probably wouldn't want to do it in India. But if you had to give a suggestion on what someone could do with a government domain name, what would you do?
Well, my best advice there is there's so many opportunities. Like, why that? You know, like, I mean, I'll cross all the lines, but sometimes like that kind of stuff, it's just like, I don't want to be like, hey, you know, no. My best advice is I would steer clear. There's so many other opportunities. Whatever you're thinking or whatever, maybe I just, why? Right. Cause I don't see a clear path to dollars. Right. So why it can't, it has to be for some other reason. So I don't understand. I wouldn't. My advice is to steer clear. There's many other opportunities out there. And I don't see like, how do you monetize a government site other than for the links or whatnot?
I was going to re-ask the question. You know, when we look at government domains, people are assuming that they're more trusted, or you know, the link just from them is better, or something like that. Is that an angle you would consider, or do you think that's even a thing? You know, getting a government link's, you know, far superior than, you know, anything else. Is there a big amount of weight that's passed to these domains?
I mean, if like, so a government DR70 with a UR40 or a .com that's the same equivalent, same referring domain count, same everything. Do I think, you know, do I want a niche specific that's the same equivalency, or do I want a .gov that's the same equivalency? I'll take this one. It doesn't, I don't think there's any added benefit, you know?
Yeah. I think people have this misconception, and maybe back in the day, government links were a bigger thing, but yeah, I certainly wouldn't be going out my way to work with them. And as you say, Chris, it's how do you monetize that? The only way I could really see monetizing that would be selling links on it or something like that. You know, what the fuck am I going to do with a government website? You can't really make it an affiliate website or whatever.
Yeah,
well, you potentially could, but it's yeah.
You can't go to the moon though. I mean, how many links can you sell? How many can you knock? 1,000, 2,000? I mean, what's, you know, what can you make? 100?
Yeah.
Next. Yeah.
And Jose, thank you very much, mate. It is, I'm just looking to the 1 million now. So, guys, make sure you do give us a little subscribe if you haven't already. But it fucking took me about 2 solid, and I mean solid years to get to. And it's been a fucking slog, man, I tell you. So, and I don't even know how we can get close to it.
I watched some other channels, and I didn't see any of the 3,000, 5,000 hits in a day kind of deal either. It's been a nice, like, you did it, man. You were grinding that out.
It's listen, the COVID was good for a lot of things, including that. So nothing better to do in my time. Fuck doing it now. When the summer's here and you can travel and all that stuff. So yeah, but good luck to anyone who does try though. But good luck.
Yeah, that's tough.
Rahul is asking, can you recommend any one-time purchases for under $100 for a simple, easy-to-use link building tool? So it's a one-time, it's not a monthly fee, and it's under $100 for a link building tool. What's GSA like?
It's a bill.
$99,
$100 bill. GSA is a bill. You could get Scrapebox for $78, I think. I mean, those are 2 opportunities. Magic, Click Magic, I think it's called. It's like a Web 2 deal. That's pretty slick. I think a lot of those sites are still supported. Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, for $100, you could probably go buy one really good link, though. And then you could probably, with one really good link and a really nice piece of content in the right industry, you might be able to catch back something. I don't know. I think that's for more tiered. Like, you're going to need other opportunity, I think that's the wrong question.
Yeah. Tie yourself to something under $100. We're all tight as well, but sometimes the purse strings have to loosen slightly so that you can get better advice. But purely for what you asked, GSA or Scrapebox, as Holly Starks has also mentioned. Holly has also went on to mention that GSA isn't easy though. Scrapebox is user newbie friendly. Although I think Holly says what Holly's saying makes perfect sense. I'm not sure you could say Scrapebox is actually that newbie friendly. Scrapebox for me personally was a bit of a learning curve as well. So I'm not sure I agree with that last little couple of words there, but Scrapebox is a great tool. I certainly, I'm not saying it's fucking newbie friendly though, because it hurt my brain for a while.
I'm making a little training right now. It's tricky, man. Scrapebox is tricky. It's got a lot of little quirks,
Yeah. And just, it's obviously a very old tool and doesn't look the best. And I think some newbie looking at that will be like, what the fuck is this piece of shit? Like, they're just going to look at it. It's definitely not pretty. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't remember it ever looking any different. It may have, slightly changed in some ways, but it's certainly, it's not tricky. Come on, Holly, man. Out of the box, scrape and post comments. That's all good and well, but you see all this proxy shit and all that, and you're a newbie, man, and all the other funky little stuff, and you don't see the stuff up at the top, the plugins and all that. It's not easy, man. Come on. It's not easy. It might be easy for someone like you, Holly, but I found it mind-numbing. But I think a training on it is I done a tutorial, a blog post about it years ago. I think it still ranks reasonably well. Scrapebox tutorial. I think Matthew Woodward also has a blog post on it. But I think a training on it would be very, very helpful for a lot of people. So I don't see a lot of videos on it, but it's one of those ones people are just like, oh.
And the videos are so like, oh my goodness. They're they're draining. A lot of them. Yeah, they're draining.
So SEO expert Sandy Rowley is asking, do you have a course on using scrapers for comments? can you use it for local SEO?
Yeah, that's my whole objective right there. Yeah, I have that section done, but I wanted to add a little bit. I want to get like 50, 60 videos. I want it to be like, wow, you gave me all this for $50. So I'm just working on more segments. Like I really want to lay it out. So that's what I'm working on it. Yeah.
There's pretty much two Scrapebox though that I think you probably do need a good 50 or 60 videos to basically touch on every single last thing it can do. Because before, when I first get Scrapebox, it was just to smash people's contact forms and stuff like that, just spam the shit out of them. And you know, as I say, after that, you start to learn all of the other kind of stuff. And Holly's getting on about. Sorry, go for it.
I'm sorry. I'm just curious. Would you get into that stuff, or would you focus on the links, like maybe contact forms? That's a good one. The email scraping is good. Go through the plugins, what you can do and how it applies to SEO is what was my thought process. Like, here's these plugins. Why are they here? How can you use them? Like, what's the benefit? Is pretty much what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's so many different ways you could look at this. I think, you know, for you, I would probably sit down and talk to someone like Holly and just say, what the fuck are you using it for as well? Because obviously your thought process is thinking about what it can be used for in terms of SEO. Holly probably looks at things slightly differently, as you know, a spam type tool. Not that I'm calling Holly a spammer, but she is, in the nicest possible way. So Holly's saying, I literally use one plugin in 10 years to Scrapebox. I mean scrape and then post comments. So Holly might look at these tools from a slightly different angle, and be able to come up with some ideas as well. And I think an overall Scrapebox, whether it's purely from a, I don't know, because you obviously can mass spam people from, you know, scrape, pull all the emails off it, and you know, do an email marketing list. And I think, you know, add all of that stuff into it, and I think it would make for a great Scrapebox course, not just purely for SEO, but there's all those other little things that you can do. And you know, you might even want to do it to check if links are still live and all that kind of stuff. So there's hundreds of things that tool can do, and I think making an overall one would be my preferred choice if I was going to do it. But I'm not. So if you're doing it, I think it's something you have to do over time as well, though. But people will be like, "Wow, Chris Palmer's got the best, you know, video for that or course for that." But talking about it, are you including a footprint list in the Scrapebox course?
Yeah, the footprint list, and then the additive will be like 100,000 auto-approved comments. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's the upsell is the list.
Glenart is asking, give us a timeline when this scraper course might be available.
I'm almost done. 2 weeks. Yeah,
2 weeks.
I'm going to crank it out. So probably this Thursday I'll finish it off, but yeah. Yeah, you'll get an email, my 1 a month email. I hit you up. I hate sending emails, man. Lately though, I've been sending a lot of emails lately, but like my personal stuff, I almost feel like intrusive. You know, it's like, hey,
fuck it.
Like we don't talk that often, but I have something. Are you interested in this? It's like, I don't know, it's a weird thing. Yeah.
Sam Rat is asking, what is the best link building strategy for an affiliate website in 2022? It's no different from 2021. But anyway, I'm new to affiliate marketing and running multi-language websites. So the best link building strategy, a link is a link at the end of the day. Whether it's for an affiliate website, whether it's for something else, link building is link building, and you want to get good quality, relevant links, and that is it. You know, don't overcomplicate it. Do not overcomplicate it.
That's the best advice in the world, right there. Yes,
Holly says a link is a link is a link is a link, and I don't know how long she keeps saying that for. But you know, link building is link building, and you're trying to push power and authority to your website. You want that power and authority to come from a website that's got traffic and got its own rankings, and you also want it to be super relevant as you possibly can to what you're offering. That's it. But how you go about getting them is the hard part. So you can buy them, you can trick people into giving you them, you can
beg for them. Like, hey, think you could?
Yeah, link begging. Please, 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 give me a link. Whatever works, whatever fucking works, man.
I'm running that as in my group. I just sent out 75,000 emails begging for links. I'm going to be sharing the results just to see how many people like, hey, I'm just starting this site out. Yeah, how many people say yes?
Out of curiosity, did you use that tool to send that 75,000 out?
Yes, I did. Yeah. And then I got a warning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a warning. Yeah.
So when you send out something like that, 75,000, did you clean the list? Were you making sure that these were actual live emails?
Yeah.
And you still get the warning?
Yeah, so I scraped it regarding, so I went to Zillow, anything that was pointing for a particular niche, scraped out those websites. Then I utilized 2 separate tools to do verification and validation. And then I cleaned out all the govs and .edus. And then anything that said like, contact us or something like that. Like if it wasn't a personal one, I killed it. Edus, .govs gone. And then I ran it through the verification thing. And then I sent it out. So I started with like 280 and then it dwindled down to 75, 72,000. Yeah. It's fun. It was a lot. It was fun.
Chase has given another kind donation. Thank you, Chase. But he's asking, what side of the toast do you put your butter on, Chris?
I don't know. I never thought about that. Just depends. Yeah. Depends on what comes out.
Or none. Don't butter it at all. Just eat it. Dry and
Gobble
crispy.
up.
Yeah. Would love to chat to Holly. She's an SEO legend. She is that. A bit of love for Holly there. A bit of love for you as well, Chris. Glenna loves your emails, so
thanks.
And Holly's saying she's not a legend, just a spammer that doesn't mess around. LOL. Holly, legend is there. I have said it more on other shows and stuff like that. But yeah, Holly does some good stuff, and I like the gung-ho approach to and no fucking around stuff. And I like people who do that and just blow shit up and break things and try shit and all of that kind of stuff. So I think that stuff is legendary. Other people will say it's dodgy, spammy, black hat, you're the devil and all that stuff. But I like people that just blow shit up and try shit. It's mad. And fun. Yeah, I like characters, man. I'm not here to fucking yeah, you know what it's like, Chris. You love Holly as well, so
I do, for sure.
There you go. Stiggs, or should I say Mike, how are you? That definitely got to be Mike. But how you doing anyway? And thank you very much to Sandy Rowley. Love the hat, fits me very well, and thanks for the good vibes and SEO tips and tricks. Thank you very much, Sandy, for coming. But we still have 6 minutes left, so we do have time for more questions. The questions have been pretty poor today, but yeah, we need some good questions next week, guys. But anyway, spammers can be legend-ish. Look at Ty Lopez, serious spammer. See, this is a guy, I hear a lot of people talking about Ty Lopez, and I know he's a big deal and a very successful guy, but I've never looked into him that much. Is he someone you've came across, Chris? Do you look at him or?
Yeah, I mean, I've came across him. I mean, he went from renting yeah, I mean, he hit a lick. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's always like good to, I don't know. Is he a spammer? I would probably venture to guess yes. I don't know the guy. I have no idea. I mean, he
Isn't
did something.
everyone?
I think so.
Everyone's a fucking spammer, even a mild spammer. Even Chris sending out those emails to his people, that's spam, right? So it's got to be a little bit of a spammer. How much you do it is
that's the question.
Yep. Holly's saying, Holly, I can't believe you're asking this question. Cannot believe it. Do I do any shows with AH refs? I've never done a show with AH refs. I'm Sam Rush. AH refs are the enemy. Nah, I like Tim and I like AH refs as a tool, a great tool, but I've done a lot with Sam Rush, which they don't do webinars anymore. And they don't do them at all, not just with me, but with anyone. But so no, I don't do them with Sam Rush, if that's what you're referring to. But I think the AH refs guys would never have me on just because of my association with Sam Rush. I know Tim's joked about it before, and I've had conversations with Tim, and he's like, dude, like your brand literally gets Sam Rush written all over it. So I've always had this little distance from AH refs, but great tool, and would love to do one day, but I'm not sure with my Sam Rush on my chest they're going to allow that to happen. So
yeah, I always wondered that though. Why did they plug? Because I watched some of his stuff when he was talking, and he seemed knowledgeable to me. Why they? Yeah, I always wondered why they go with the Sam guy over Tim. You think just for the videos?
So Tim's the CMO, so he's like the chief marketing officer. Sam is the guy on videos. I don't think Tim wants to be both, because Tim is the go-to between the guy that owns it and and the team. So I don't think Tim could physically be the video guy. So I think the boy Sam does very well at it anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, I always liked his little chats, though. I used to do those chats, though, I used to watch them.
Yeah.
Talking about links and stuff. I used to like his thought process on that. Like, yeah, no, they don't even care about quality. It just counts. I used to love that.
Have you used SapeLinks?
Yes. Still do. Yeah, it's been a little tougher lately, but yes.
With the payment issues, but hopefully that resolves itself and all that stuff. And Mike is here in his garage.
He's referring to Ty. Yeah, Ty Lopez.
And Google search or buying comments. Sandy, if you message me on Facebook or something like that, I will show you a very neat trick on how you can accelerate that shit all day long. So message me on one of these platforms, preferably Facebook, because that's the one I use most frequently, and I will show you something. I don't want to talk about it here, and it's not buying comments or whatever, but I will talk to you and show you how to get traction on that shit. Do I do any shows with Shine Ranker Craig? I don't. Not to my knowledge, but I would be happy to do one with you, Chase Rayner. So there you go. Sandy Rowley would love to do. I'm going to assume Shine Ranker is Sandy Rowley. Would I be right in saying that? She's never been kind enough to offer me a slot on there, or Chris. Have you been on Shine Ranker, Chris?
No. I was over there one time, but not. Is that a separate entity?
Adding you now, no problem. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Shine Ranker, but yeah.
Is Shine Ranker its own property opposed to Chase?
I have no clue, man.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm missing it there.
Speaking of useful tools, where is Brad? He was on yesterday. But yeah, I don't know where that tool is today. But I'm quite happy to agree he is a tool, and I'm going to beat his ass. And Shine Ranker is an SEO tool, talking about tools to help find some low volume keywords. So check it out, guys. Last question of the day. How do you decide how much to pay people who partners on a YouTube channel? I've got a channel where it's me and 2 other people. It's a collaborative effort, hosting, commentating, editing, but I do the SEO. Would it be easier to just split the profits? But how do you decide how much is a fair split? How would you do that, Chris? So say, I know you do it yourself, but say there was a couple of you involved. Would you be happy giving someone a 50-50 split if you were doing the majority of the work?
I mean, if we all came into it together and we were working together, then we would split it. I mean, it would be decided in the very beginning. It depends. Like you would know going into it how much work is. Okay, you're doing this. This is worth this. You're going to do this. It's worth this. So yeah, that would be determined early on. Yeah, I would venture to guess.
But if 3 people are involved in it, let's say, and everyone's doing similar amounts of work, whether it be SEO, whether it be in the face of it or whatever work in the background, then fine, agree on it, 33, 33, 33. But, if you're doing 60% of the work, I wouldn't want to be, giving away, 66% of the profits for 60% of the work. So it really comes down to that. And that's up to you to be able to stand your ground and say, nah, fuck this. I want what I'm putting into this, and hopefully you come to an amicable resolution. One final little thing. Is Live IRL fan Brad? He says he isn't. But another comment here. I heard that people who run Shine Ranker just make memes all day. Like Stephen Kang, he's just a meme guy. And as I say, yeah. But we are sadly out of time. Guys, we need questions on these shows, so make sure we do get questions. That's the way you're going to get best value out of us. But yeah, I don't know what's went on today, Chris. But
it's a down day.
A down day. You can't.
It's a good day, but slow.
Yeah, slowish. It came good in the end. But on that note, guys, do check out Chris Palmer. Do check out Shine Ranker. Do check out Chase Rayner. Do check out Holly Starks. Do check out ODYS. Do check out Stiggs if you can find out who he is. And we will catch you at the same time next week, guys. Chris.
That's probably why, because of the time.
That is probably why. Yeah, just as I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is why.
That's why we were not cooking. Because I was wondering, where's Randy? Like, where's some of the faces that I generally see? And I started thinking, it's an hour later.
Randy's on holiday.
Yeah, just some other, you know what I mean? But that's probably what it is, though. Most people are looking at that.
Yeah. It's back to normal next week, though, because our clocks change or someone's clocks change again, and it balances.
Mine went ahead the other day.
Right, you went ahead. I think ours changes next week. So, yeah, we'll be back to normal next week, guys. And that's why I was late. Bloody hell, Stiggs. Happy St. Paddy's Day to anyone who celebrates that, Maeve and anyone else across the world. And we will catch you all next week at the usual time. See you later on.
Then. Bye-bye.